Well, I think one of the fundamental obligations of the filmmaker is to be a truth teller. Um, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get to the truth of what you're examining, but the effort should be there. It should be a sincere effort. If you look at our society, our human society over the millennia, who do we look to? How many politicians do we go back to and say, oh, that guy was telling the truth? We look to the artists, don't we? We don't know if they're telling us the whole story or part of the story, but we know ancient Greece through the playwrights, through the poets. We know Rome through the philosophers and the playwrights and the poets and the historians. Same thing about the Renaissance, the same thing about most of human history. The voices that tell us the truth are the artists. They are decoupled from the political consensus of their time. They stand apart from it. In some cases, they were persecuted. In some cases, they were martyred, not necessarily for their belief, but just for telling the truth. And that hasn't changed. Artists today are persecuted in some societies. In our own society, artists aren't persecuted or thrown in jail, but they suffer from the adverse effects of political correctness. So there's a pressure on artists, whether they be filmmakers or other kinds of storytellers, to toe the line, or they may not get something sold, or they may not get it in a store, or they may not get a promotion if they're associated with a university, for instance. So they change, but the pressure to conform, the pressure to say the expected word, the pressure to reinforce the conventional wisdom, whatever that is, from society to country, is always there. But we respect Solzhenitsyn because in the face of the Soviet Union, he told the truth at great personal risk to himself. Now, he also had a great talent. Other people were trying to tell the truth as well. We'll never know who they are. They perished in the Gulag. But we know him because he not only was a truth teller, but a masterful writer and storyteller. So we're not all masterful. We're not all geniuses, but we can all try to tell the truth. So I think it's a basic and the first responsibility of a filmmaker to tell the truth, which means you have to have some kind of compass. And you can't get the compass without putting yourself in the long stream of civilization and the artists who have come before. I don't know how it's possible to be a movie maker without having read Sophocles. I don't know how it's possible to be a movie maker without having read Shakespeare, because you're uncoupled from thousands of years of tradition of people who have gone before you. I don't know how it's possible to be a movie maker unless you've seen the works of Andre Wida or William Wyler or John Huston or John Ford. It's true we live in our own time and we're witness to our own time, but we're not disconnected from the past. The past informs us, it makes us who we are. So I would encourage young filmmakers or filmmakers even my age who are starting out for the first time, because we can all have rebirths and reinvent ourselves, to start with your compass. Some call it a moral compass. You can call it an aesthetical compass, but yourself, really. Because it's that voice that makes Warren unique and Ron unique, which we have to hold on to. So we're not just in a chorus of voices trying to be like someone else, or like the person who had the biggest grossing film last week, or the person the studio wants you to be, or the person that something else or someone else wants you to be. Otherwise, you lose it all before you even start. It's important to have your own voice, to protect that little tiny voice so that it can flower and tell the truth in whatever form that manifests itself.